Okay.
And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to University of Tampa men's basketball from the Bob Martinez Center on the campus of the University of Tampa. The Tampa Spartans get ready to host Sunshine State Conference opponent, the Rollins Tars. Tampa comes in at 2-6, 0-2 right now, early in the SSC season. Rollins 4-3 overall, 0-1 in SSC. So somebody will walk out of the building today with their first Sunshine State Conference victory of the season. Jack Ike along with Scott Lynn. We're about a couple minutes before tip-off, and Scott, a couple teams badly in need of victories.
Yeah, Rollins lost at home to Embry-Riddle 99-66 on Wednesday night. Now, Embry-Riddle's pretty good this year, 8-1 overall, 2-1 in the conference. But, bottom line is this is not a great Rollins team necessarily, averaging 80 points a game, but only shooting 24% from beyond the arc. Only 3 players average in double figures. Tampa, meantime, still having a lot of trouble early on. They're just, as you say, 2-6 overall. They have played in the 2 Sunshine State Conference games very, very competitive. In fact, lost to Eckerd 63-61 on Wednesday night. Pat Bacon with another tremendous game. Bottom line, though, they don't need to be competitive. As you said, in the first game, you want to win some games along the way.
Yep, take that competitiveness and move it up a level. We're going to take a brief timeout from the broadcast for our national anthem. Starting lineups coming up right after this.
We're going to get a live rendition.
Having a little trouble getting the microphone on for the national anthem.
Plugged the halftime yesterday.
Hopefully we've got it now.
We'll have her come over to the PA announcer's microphone. And
it worked perfectly before the women's game.
Yes, it did. It worked perfectly.
There we go.
Our national anthem. Nice rendition, and I got to imagine you get all fired up to do it, and your mic doesn't work.
Yeah,
maybe a sense of panic for a few seconds.
Yeah, just briefly, because you're all set to perform, like you say, and you're going to give it your best shot, and then the mic doesn't work. Oh boy, What now? Well, she did a tremendous job of regrouping and a beautiful rendition.
All right, starting lineups for today's game. As I mentioned, Rollins comes in at 0-1 in conference play, 4-3 overall. Their starting lineup starts with number 2, Connor McKim. McKim is a senior, a 6-foot senior from Louisville, Kentucky. And also number 5 is Dayton Gum, a 6'2 junior from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Number 12 is Brooks Cluxton, a 6'8 junior from Oviedo, Florida. Number 20 is Trevor Riccio, a 6'7 senior from Orlando, Florida. And number 21 is Jacoby Bonner, and he is a 6'2 senior from Winter Springs, Florida. They dim the lights. minutes, we get ready for the Tampa Spartans, and of course, the lights are so dim, I can't read. Starting for the Spartans will be number 00, Martin Lekovic, a 6'7 junior from Serbia. Number 2 is Derek Felder, a 6'2 junior, a transfer in from Yonkers, New York. Number 13 is Vincent Biffle, a 6'2 guard from Indianapolis, Indiana. Number 22 is Brent Duncan, a junior from Atlanta, Georgia. And number 25, the third leading scorer in the SSC, Pat Bacon, a 6'2 junior, or senior, I should say, from Indianapolis, Indiana. Biffle also a senior from Indianapolis. The Spartans are coached by Richard Schmidt. Associate head coach is Justin Pekka. Assistant coaches Mark Borders and Tyler Zakur. Rollins is coached by Tom Klusman. Assistant coaches Kyle Frakes and Kevin Hogan. Eckert is leading the conference with a 5-3 record. Overall, the best record in the conference stands at Embry-Riddle, though, overall by games played with an 8-1 record. They are 2-1. Their only loss of the season was a conference loss. Other teams of note, Florida Southern also 2-1, 7-1 in conference play. At Nova Southeastern, a team that came in here and scored 79 points to beat the Spartans, is only 4-0. They've only played 4 games on the year.
Wow.
Their only conference game was to win over Tampa. They still, even though scoring 79 against Tampa, are averaging 122 points a game, thanks to a 155-point outing earlier this week.
They scored 90-some points in the first half of that game. Unbelievable.
And won it by 75.
Wow.
Tip is up. Brett Duncan tips it back to Felder for the Spartans. Felder, the ball handler on the Spartans. Bacon at 22.5 a game, third leading scorer in conference play. Felder popped from just outside the free throw line, missing it. Fighting for it is Lakovic. It goes out of bounds. It will be Rollins' ball. Riccio will inbound to Connor McKim. Gets a little backcourt pressure from Felder, and the shot clock fails to move. Got it out of the way early.
Indeed. Full court man-to-man pressure here for...
It allows the Spartans a chance to put the full court pressure on.
The two coaches today, veterans, oh my goodness. And you talk about successful. It's got to be the only matchup in any division of NCAA or any college basketball where you have two 700-game winners today.
Right.
I mean, it's just incredible.
On the same court.
You've got Tom Klusman in his 40th season at Rollins, 707 wins. That's the 12th most victories of any active college coach of any division. Third among active Division II coaches, 9th all-time. He's right behind Richard Schmidt, who has 710 wins in his career, second among active coaches, 8th most all-time. Richard Schmidt, 710 wins in 39 years.
McKim to Gum up to the top of the key. Riccio. McKim, top of the key. In the lane, drives, puts it off the glass, no good. Fighting for it, Biffle out of the pack, finds Bacon ahead of everybody, drives and lays it in. 2-0 Tampa.
Well, I see early on why you chose to call the men's game today. They have the names of their names are on the back of their jerseys.
I did some scouting.
Yeah, that's an impressive fact right there. We always talk about who do you want to do play-by-play or color.
Yeah.
Now I know why you chose
and we
the
alternate.
men's game today.
I watched tape.
I'm going to spend all week looking to see what teams in the conference have the names on the back. Okay, if these teams meet, let's say in the first round of the Sunshine State Conference tournament here, I get dibs on the men's game. Okay.
You can have the game at Rollins.
I know. Thank you. I'm not so sure I would get. I think Robert Siegel would fight me for that.
Yeah.
If I was. He's the play-by-play man for Rollins.
The Rollins radio. We do just home games for Tampa Spartans. 4 on the shot clock. Biffle's got a fire. He does. Off the rim. And it bounds out of bounds. Still 2-0 Tampa, almost 2 minutes into the game.
Well, we talked about it in the women's game during a timeout that the men's team from Tampa had started 0-4. When we called that game here, their only home game previous to this one, they actually played Nova Southeastern very tough, lost by 4 in a lower scoring game. And Jordan Fee, the associate head coach of Nova Southeastern, said that's the best 0-5 team, I think, in the country. And, bottom line, after that, Tampa went out and won the next 2 games before coming up just short against Eckerd. Nice pass inside there.
Nice drive inside. 2-2. Spartans did beat Bemidji State and Francis Marion in the Eckerd Classic over in St. Petersburg over Thanksgiving break, and then stayed at Eckerd for a game a couple days later and lost to the Triton. So both wins non-conference. But of the last 4 games the Spartans have played, 2 tough losses in conference play and 2 non-conference wins. Bacon gets the ball back. Looks, pushed around enough that Gum gets called for the foul.
And I think they might be talking about the shot clock. It did not reset, and I think that the official was saying that there was a possession change, and then Spartans stole the ball back, so the shot clock should have been reset. I think that's where we're at.
So no foul called.
Right. That was a nice heads-up work by the officiating crew.
Felder's pass, telegraph, tipped away by Riccio. Tampa retains possession. Officials for today's game are John Washburn, Clyde Mulia, and James Smith. Biffle from outside, rolls around and out. Duncan can't get it before it goes out of bounds.
Boy, that couldn't have been any deeper in the well.
16:58 left on the clock, first half from the Bob Martinez.
So we're 2-2. 3 minutes in. McKim across the timeline, a veteran player for the Rollins Tars. Driving is Gluckston, and he's fouled by Brent Duncan on the way in. Jonathan Bryant not suited up for the Spartans today. He's been a key player off the bench. First free throw, no good.
Bryant had been so impressive in that first home game. That was our first look at him. Very athletic, great court sense. His absence could hurt them today.
Backcourt pressure, 3-2, made one of the 2 free throws, so Rollins by a point. Felder, bounce pass inside, Lakovic, spin, puts it up on a reverse layup and scores, and it's 4-3 Tampa.
Lakovic also looked very impressive in that first game that we saw here, and you can see some of those skills. That was a tough pass to handle, nearly stolen, and he managed to corral it and then finish.
Cluxton from outside, Gum from outside, no good. Long board to Bonner, Riccio with a 3 off the rim, and Felder heads the other way. Bacon looked at the 3, got a running start though. And we are going to have the under 16 timeout with Tampa.
I chose Rollins because the Spanish Mediterranean architecture is just beautiful. The weather's great. We're in Central Florida. We're right on Lake Virginia, and I couldn't turn any of that down.
Rollins gave me that ability and that foundation that I needed to go into the world, and I think that I wouldn't have got that experience anywhere else.
He's the guy that will...
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Actually, it is a 48. My eyesight is bad.
Okay. All right. So,
Operator error.
We updated your cataract.
Yes.
Is that what it was? Sorry.
But he leads the conference in total points because the Spartans have played 8 games. Another player from Florida Tech has 181 points as well. But some players have played less games. 4-3, Tampa on top out of the media timeout. Drive up and good by Gum, and it's 5-4. Rollins on top.
Gum averages about 12 points a game. He is a 50% three-point shooter. He's made 11 of 22 from deep. So, again, one reason you can get a drive is because you got to respect the fact that he can shoot the three. You got to get up on him, and that allows him to drive by you.
Just about anybody who plays Tampa will score less than their average, as evidenced by Nova Southeastern being about 40 to 50 points below their average. 5 on the shot clock. Bacon's shot goes in and out. Duncan fights for it. It goes off of Riccio, out of bounds.
You could see Pat Bacon call for the ball there. He knew that the shot clock was down to 5 seconds. Thought this might be our best look.
Rollins, a pretty good shooting team, 47% on the year. Tampa at 44.
Shot clock reset to 20 here for Tampa.
Felder, top of the key, in and out. Gum, quickly to McKim. Nice bounce pass into Cluxton, and he lays it in, and it's 7-4.
Nice little pick and roll, give and go. Pretty sweet play by the Tars right there.
Off this zone defense, Spartans have not been able to penetrate too well to this point.
Well, you can see that zone. It's they don't let anybody have an open look.
Duncan with a cross-court skip pass has it deflected out of bounds. 5 on the shot clock. Make sure the Spartans are aware of this. They get it to Bacon. Cuts through, pops it, blocked by Riccio. And we come back the other way. Actually, it's blocked by Cluxton. And Lakovic blocks at the other end.
Yeah, Connor McKim just didn't have the name. Close on from behind the cat. Bonner coming down the left side.
And Lakovic gets knocked down before the inbounds, and it'll be an offensive foul. First of the game on Rollins.
Lakovic, obviously, as you mentioned, from Serbia, has played at a couple of community colleges, at Pratt and at Southeastern. Here he is in D2, and again, I was very impressed with him the first time we saw him here.
Yeah. Solid player fundamentally.
And just a junior, he'll be back.
Rainbow jumper off the rim. He had to kind of alter that shot. The 2 senior starters for Tampa are 4-year players. Actually, Pat Bacon in his 5th year has had a couple injuries to deal with. Bonner drives, no good. 2 of the juniors are junior college transfers. Brent Duncan with the jumper is a 3-year player. Bacon rebounds off the glass and in. 7-6. Spartans had gone 2-10 without a basket. A little backdoor play. Took a few steps, scored it anyway.
Well, Lakovic got beat on that one, lost his man, and when he found him, he was laying it off the glass for an easy deuce.
9-6. Biffle to Bacon. Bacon outside the arc, on the way, off the front of the rim. Tipped by Duncan. Rebounded by McKim, though.
Well, Duncan made a nice save and batted it out, thinking it would go out to Bacon, but he was coming to follow his shot.
Yep.
Got it right in the face.
Another give and go, and Gum dunks it.
Well,
back-to-back give and goes.
Yeah, the Spartans definitely need to look for that cutter going back door. Pretty impressive start for Rollins here.
Biffle off the glass, no good. And we come back the other way.
Yeah, nice strong defensive rebound by Riccio there. We've played 8 minutes, and the leading scorer for the Tars at almost 18 points a game, Bonner, has only taken one shot. He's scoreless. You got to feel pretty good if you're the Tars and you're up.
Another pass inside.
Too easy. The Spartans not playing that tight defense we saw even against Nova Southeastern.
3 times down the court and 3 little layups unattended.
Well, you need to have somebody knock down a shot from the perimeter.
Yeah, Bacon drives, has it deflected out of his hands. Malakovic got the rebound and put it back. The Spartans now 13-8 trailing. Bonner drives, scores.
Very quick to the hoop with that step and nice finish. You can tell the senior knows what he's doing out there.
Biffle, a little runner in the lane, hits it, knocked down, no call, but the basket scored.
Did a pretty good job of jump stopping and going straight up. He definitely fell to the floor. I'm not sure really how much contact there was. I agree with the no call on that one.
Right. Outside, Bonner for 3, rims out. Malakovic grabs the rebound and Spartans push. Inside, Brent Duncan, he kicks back outside, and a running start for Felder. And we're going to have the under 12 timeout with 10:21 to go in the first half. 15.
For the Spartans, 3.
Cluxton with 7 to lead all scorers. Malakovic has 4, and Bacon has 4 for Tampa.
Cluxton's a pretty interesting player. Transfer out of Campbell University, played D1 there the last 2 years. This is his first year, obviously, at Rollins, but he's from Florida, but he's 6'8", 220. I mean, he's got some real length that is causing some problems. Length and athleticism, that's a good combination. So looking at that number 12 right there at the top of the key, trying to be guarded by Brent Duncan. It's no easy task for Brent today.
Chu Anechania is into the lineup from Springfield, Virginia, a 6'7" junior. And Cluxton scoring again, now has 9 on another dunk. Baker into the lineup for Tampa. Spartans.
You mentioned Echaniah. He is 6'7", as you say. His first name, Chu. even the Rollins broadcasters just call him Chew. So you can go with Chew the rest of the way.
Thank you.
It's okay.
I practice, though.
He's got a name full of vowels.
Yeah, he does. Also, and Lakovich goes to the ground. Foul is called on Chew.
Chew, whose last name has 2 E's, 2 I's, an A, an O, and a Y that I think is a consonant and not a vowel there, but you never know. And Nechanaya. Okay.
So
Chew.
Technically just 2 consonants, 2 N's.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to go with Y as a vowel.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Lakovic, deep 3, and he hits it. 17-15.
Impressive. I mean, I like his game. As a newcomer, you like to see somebody come in and not intimidated at all. And you can understand, D1 players who maybe come down a level to play, they're going to play with some confidence. But as a JC player who's been at a couple of stops before now, you never know what you're going to get, really.
Bonner for 3. No good. Fighting for it, getting and off of Brent Duncan's hand out of bounds. Brendan Baker, I should say, got into the lineup. Yeah. He's from Louisville, Texas. His dad played here a couple decades ago.
Yeah. Lakovich went up high and tipped that ball right at Brent Duncan, who wasn't expecting it. It went off his hands. Ball to turn. Giving it now to Rollins.
This is Marion into the lineup. We should get him, Kyle Marion, a freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. And Yenor hitting that one. Putt Yenor. Also into the lineup. So some changes in the starting lineup by Tom Klusman.
He's the second leading three-point maker, although that ties him for the club lead with 14. You got 2 players on Rollins that shoot over 50% from beyond the arc. I mean, that's pretty good. So you've got to respect that defensively.
5 on the shot clock. Felder from deep water, no good. Nice job by Duncan with the steal. See if he can go all the way. Goes behind the back, feeds Bacon, drives, but I think a charge called as Duncan couldn't pull up once he dished off.
Well, that's too bad because he really made a nice move, dribbled behind the back, and found the cutter coming in for an easy layup. Just could not stop. Needed a jump stop somehow and just couldn't get it done.
Whoever said that less is more or less mathematically challenged. Less isn't more, it's less. And the only thing more than more is a lot more, which is exactly what I get at Embassy Suites. More space. More downtime. More family time. More me time. More me time. More me time. Because the more I have, the more I have to have more.
More room, complimentary drinks, free breakfast. Embassy Suites Hotels.
A very good shooter.
Full adjective to what we just saw.
I did say futile, not beautiful.
Yeah, futile. Not to make fun, because
it was futile.
Just unsuccessful at the very least.
All right.
Statement of fact.
He never drew iron,
no.
And he was never within 10 feet.
The rim remains safe.
Yes, unscarred, unscathed. Marion across the timeline. Finds Gum. He looks to go inside, does go inside, finds Riccio. Back to Riccio. Finds a cutting Yenor and he scores. And that is about the 4th or 5th fairly easy layup for Rollins. Spartans just seem to be losing their man on backdoor cuts. Lakovic, I think the foul is going to be on Riccio, which will be his first.
Well, the first 13 minutes, clearly, Rollins has been the more effective team in every way. They're shooting layups.
Yes.
And that zone has really bothered Tampa.
Felder finds Lakovic, spots up inside the arc, and comes up a little short. Of the 22 points Rollins has right now, 18 in the paint. Now, the Spartans aren't far behind. They are credited with 12 of their 15 in the paint. As Scott, you've mentioned, there has only been one made three on each side to this point. And here is that aforementioned Jacob Harris getting into the lineup for Tampa, a 6'8", 185-pound freshman from Georgia.
This is his 7th game in which he's played. He actually has started a couple of games this year.
He did, I think, in the 2 of the wins, maybe, the games in Eckerd. And he gets a shot off. Hits the rim. Lakovic fights for it. Muscles his way out a little bit. Felder kicks. Bacon, 10 on the shot clock. Still time. Inside, Lakovic, a nice little fake. Can't make it. Fouled.
Really want to be able to finish that one. I mean, he made a nice fake to lose the defender and then just didn't finish it. Now, yes, though, there was a foul whistle, right, but you're right there at the rim. But, again, very impressive start here. 7 points, 5 rebounds in 14 minutes for Lakovic. He's going to be a nice player for this team.
Free throws not his forte, though.
You had to mention that.
It was after.
I know.
After it clanged off.
Good point.
38.5%.
Yeah.
50% on the day, so that's an improvement. I think he's just got to get some time. He hasn't shot that many. Inside, Claxton, I should say, fouled on the way up, or no, they just call it out of bounds. He said, but what about my wrist? Yenor outside. Wants the shot, stuffed by the Lion. Spartans tied him up. Possession arrow keeps it with Rollins.
5:41 to go here, first half.
Nice defensive play by Lakovic again. Playing pretty well, very aggressive at both ends. The first game here, he got into early foul trouble, but he still did enough to impress the heck out of us.
Gum drives, fouled on his way up by Lakovic. First foul. It's only the third foul on Tampa, 5 at this point on Rollins, so few fouls.
What are you looking for?
Gum to the line. He is a 63% shooter. McKim back in for Marion on the Rollins side. Rattles at home. 24-16, biggest lead of the game for Rollins.
Bonner in, Gum out. Gum out. That's an automotive product,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes. I bet he's never heard that.
Probably by somebody who's smart enough not to say that, like me. Whatever.
10 on the shot clock. Lakovic looks for the three, passes it up and loses the ball. Buxton gives it to Bacon, who drives in. He didn't see Bacon lurking in the shadows there.
Yeah, Pat didn't give up on it and thought, I think I can steal 2 here.
So Bacon now with 6 points. Bonner, jumper in the lane, no good. Lakovic fights. Biffle for the ball. Biffle gets the board. Looking to drive, nowhere to go, just tossed it up. Lakovic almost came out with it, but we come back the other way. Bounce pass to Bonner. He's going to drive, and Lakovic rejects it to Biffle, who lays it in.
What a great sequence by Lakovic and the Spartans. Biffle leaking out after the great rejection at the rim by Lakovic, who's very fired up.
And he found the outlet pass.
We're more than just $7.99 large 2-topping pizza delivered.
Hey, B, is this it?
We're an end zone dance at your doorstep. No one outpizza.
Spark over there for a team that sometimes might not be that emotional.
At DoubleTree by Hilton, we believe in nice. Not your okay, fine, just being polite kind of nice, but a genuine nice. The kind that's contagious, that you can't help but take with you. The kind of nice you want to share with others. But don't take our word for it. Come for a stay and help us prove nice travels. Book at DoubleTree.com.
Just a good thing to see. Again, averaging almost 23 points a game. Just good to see. I remember when we were sitting in these seats just, now 5 years ago.
Yeah.
This kid from Indianapolis came in, and he was pretty impressive.
We kind of thought he might be one of the better freshmen in the conference, and at the end of the season, the conference concurred.
Yeah, and he averaged 19 points a game that first season, playing full-time. It was amazing. He has worked. He's one of the hardest workers. You see him before and after games many times working on his game, or even just shooting free throws. And maybe he had a bad night. He wants to.
I've been down on campus at various times when there have not been games going on, just to visit people, and he's in the gym shooting normally.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Cluxton looking for somebody, finally comes out to Bonner.
He was trying to get that to Yenor, and Yenor just didn't have good post-up position.
Lobbing it inside. Top of the key, Yenor for 3. Yenor for 3.
Boy, really good patience there, great spacing, and good passing as well.
Yenor averages 12 a game off the bench. One of 3 players averaging 12. Jacoby Bonner topping them all with 17-7. Biffle turns, pivots, has the ball bounce off his foot out of bounds.
One of the interesting things I saw in looking at this team before the game started was Connor McKim's averaging 9.5 points a game. He's been a double-digit scorer in all 3 of his previous seasons, so his scoring's down a little bit. But bottom line, he does so many things for them.
He's the floor general.
Yeah.
Yenor knocks down a 3. Back-to-back threes by Hut Yenor. And all of a sudden, it's to the biggest lead of the game, 10 points, after the Spartans had cut it to 24-20. 3:15 to go first half. So Yenor took care of the 3-point woes.
Spartans not getting much done right now.
Biffle, top of the key, off the front of the rim.
Not a lot of ball or people movement on that possession, and you ended up with either Bacon or Biffle going to have to shoot up a 3 from deep because nothing else was available.
Yenor, in and out, almost buried his 3rd in a row.
He was definitely feeling it.
And a reach by Yenor. Just his first. There's 6, so shooting after this, so not much time left in the half. Biffle gives up his dribble, finds Bacon. 8 on the shot clock. Bacon looks to drive the lane, comes back out, thwarted every turn, and finally loses it.
McKim with just great position defense there.
Gum loses the ball, and it goes off of him out of bounds. So back-to-back, basically unforced errors.
Yeah. And Janaya drove through the lane there, just lost the handle a little bit, rolled out of bounds with the basketball.
Under 2 minutes now in the half. The lead, 10 on back-to-back threes by Hut-Yanor. Felder looking in the lane, free throw line jumper, bounces around, no good, and Bonner goes high for the board. And the shot clock has gone out at this end of the court.
Shot clock that the Tars are shooting at just went totally.
The shot above the shot clock above the basket.
I'm pretty sure that's in the in-house rules. You know, like you have grounds rules in baseball. I think once you fall behind by 10, if you're the home team, you can turn off the opponent's shot clock.
So they are not aware.
They're not aware of how fast they have to shoot the ball. You know I'm kidding, right?
I know.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, it's all the other people out there.
I forgot to put the LOL at the end of my...
yeah, you need a LOL
at the end of my expression.
Yeah. I should have snickered or something at the end of that. Well, they fixed it.
I did an LQ. I was laughing quietly.
Oh, okay. And everybody else was putting up a rolling eye emoji.
McKim dragged his feet there, or at least 1 foot, and gets called for the travel. Minute and a half to go. Spartans want to cut this 10-point lead down. It was 4 and quickly went to 10. Tampa just 1 of 9 on threes. And again, Biffle almost loses it. Gets it out. 8 on the shot clock.
You're not going to beat a zone off the dribble.
No. 5 on the shot clock. Harris deep and in. That's what he can do.
Well, that's a big basket for Tampa at that moment. You're inside the final minute. You get it down into 7 points instead of potentially falling even more behind here.
He had a little more time to shoot there and showed a nice stroke there. But they give it right back. Cluxton double digits now.
Yeah. Cluxton and Yanor both with 11. Rollins is going to get the ball back.
Bacon missing it, fighting for it. Yanor with the rebound. 20 seconds to go. They can run it down. $10 on the clock. Start to run the offense. McKim, top of the key, looking, guarded by pass inside, taken away by Tampa. 2 on the clock. Felder not able to get a shot off. We've come to the end of the half, and it's a 32-23 Rollins lead over Tampa at half.
Well, the big thing is Tampa's not shooting the ball well, and
it's not about any one thing. It's about how everything comes together, how it all connects. People, ideas, resources, community, everything. Quality of life services. That's what we do. Sodexo.
Back, we'll give you more scoring just before the start.
Freak alert, Jalen. Not like a slips into baby talk when he's feeling insecure kind of freak. Not even a whittle bit. Jalen's a freak about hand-slicing all-natural meats for every Jimmy John's sandwich he makes. Look at his unfettered joy. And not just for ham. You should see him with Capicola. Thank you, Jalen. Your meat freakiness means better sandwiches for all. Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah!
Yeah, first of all, very flattered that everybody would come. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions before we move on?
You remember the girl wearing the Go Phil shirt following you around?
Yeah.
It's me.
I
It's
do.
been me on several occasions.
I started papering my cubicle with pictures of you.
Do you have a picture of the shrine? I mean, I'd love to see it.
I've got a mental picture of it, and it's
I do too.
pretty weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
I believe that I have a happy marriage because of you, because sometimes I do a little substitution, you know, just mentally.
Whoa.
But
Anyway, Mike, let's...
For 42 minutes, he's been trying to bring an entire stadium to its feet.
You missed it, buddy.
Why does he do it? For glory? Notoriety? We don't know. Frankly, we don't need to know. But much like this hero, Courtyard is all about the game.
1, 2, 3. Whoa, there's my guy. Yes. Go. Snacks? Yeah, man. Eat it up, and we're going to burn it off doing the...
Nowadays, more and more people are on the go. We are all busy with work and family. Clean Eats has a solution. At every Clean Eats location, we have grab-and-go coolers that are packed full of freshly made breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals. Whether you are a soccer mom, business person, athlete, or just someone that does not have time to prepare your own meals, Clean Eats has you covered. Our grab-and-go cooler will always have a wide selection of meals to satisfy you. Each to-go meal is priced under $7 to make our food very affordable. Be sure to stop and try a to-go meal. Clean Eats.
I chose Rollins because the Spanish Mediterranean architecture is just beautiful. The weather's great. We're in Central Florida. We're right on Lake Virginia, and I couldn't turn any of that down.
Rollins gave me that ability and that foundation that I needed to go into the world, and I think that I wouldn't have got that experience anywhere else.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Ever said that less is more or less mathematically challenged. Less isn't more, it's less. And the only thing more than more is a lot more, which is exactly what I get at Embassy Suites. More space. More downtime. More family time. More me time. More me time. More me time. Because the more I have, the more I have to have more.
More room, complimentary drinks, free breakfast. Embassy Suites Hotels.
First of all, very flattered that everybody would come. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions before we move on?
Do you remember the girl wearing the Go Phil shirt following you around?
Yeah.
It's me.
I
It's
do.
been me on several occasions.
I started papering my cubicle with pictures of you.
Do you have a picture of this, Ryan? I mean, I'd love to see it.
I've got a mental picture of it, and
I do
it's
too.
pretty weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
I believe that I have a happy marriage because of you, because sometimes I do a little substitution, you know, just mentally.
Whoa.
But
Anyway, Mike, let's...
All right, we're just about ready to start the second half. About a minute. And the scoring is contained in just those.
Freak alert! Jalen. Not like a slips into baby talk when he's feeling insecure kind of freak. Not even a whittle bit. Jalen's a freak about hand-slicing all natural meats for every Jimmy John sandwich he makes. Look at his unfettered joy! And not just for ham. You should see him with Capicola. Thank you, Jalen. Your meat freakiness means better sandwiches for all. Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah!
Rollins shooting well, 13 of 25, 52%. They are up to 3 of 9 on three-pointers. They were 1 of 7, but then Yenor came back and hit all 3.
We're more than just $7.99 large 2-topping pizza delivered.
Hey, B, is this it?
We're an end zone dance at your doorstep. No one outpeats.
They're not moving the basketball all that much, and they're just forced to take a shot, sometimes under duress as the shot clock's ticking down. They've really got to move the ball and people a little bit better here in the second half to be able to come back from this 9-point deficit.
Well, the one thing the Spartans do not have, I mean, they have Brent Duncan, who's 6'8", but they don't have a real big post presence where they can go inside and get a little inside-out game. I know against the zone, Duncan's not going to try to work anything, but maybe give you a little move and then kick it back out and find somebody in space. But they're just not big enough to force anything inside, so they basically have been content with working the perimeter. Second half to start. Lakovic inbounds to Felder as the Spartans get the first possession. 32-23, Tampa trails. Felder, top of the key, just grazes the front of the rim and falls into Ricio's hand.
Cluxton with good inside position there. Cluxton, again, 6'8". He's got the size to, if you get his backside on you, you're not going to get an offensive rebound.
Yep. I take that back. You're right. It was Cluxton with the rebound. McKim knocks it down, and he's been quiet today. So quiet, it's his first points.
And only his second shot. I mean, again, all he's doing is playing good defense and distributing the ball a little bit. He's got 3 assists, a couple of boards.
Double-digit scorer in past seasons, 9.5 a game this year. But, doesn't seem to be like frustrated or anything that he's not getting shots.
McKim led the Tars with 15 points against Embry-Riddle Wednesday night. So, again, he's totally adjusted his game today to what is needed.
Shot clock. I think they're stopping the shot clock. The shot clock went to 18. I think they reset it to 20.
And it should not have.
But I don't know if it even got to 20 before we had this stop. So they go to 26.
Okay.
11-point lead, biggest of the game. Lakovic.
Boy, they really do a nice job of shifting that zone around. A good matchup. McKim jumps out on Bacon or whoever has the ball right at the top of the key and forces him to take a long shot, and that's what's happened every single time.
Right. They're not focusing on any one player. They're just making it hard, and Gum with another somewhat uncontested layup down the lane.
Well, Pat Bacon, after he got beat on the drive there, just hung his head and felt, oh man, this is not going the way I thought it might today.
Yep. Lead is now 13. Biffle in the lane, a runner blocked. Chu with the block, gets it to Gum. Gum to Chu, looking outside. Keeps it inside, goes back to Bonner. He's going to try to drive the lane, cut off by Felder. Chu drives, fouled by Lakovic. And it should be a shooting foul. It is. Second personal foul. Nobody in any real foul trouble right now. Duncan has 2, and now Lakovic has 2. On the other side, though, McKim, no, those are assists. Nobody in foul trouble. Other than Ricio with 3. Tampa takes a timeout as a slow start to the second half.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that Richard Schmidt.
At Doubletree by Hilton, we believe in nice. Not your okay, fine, just being polite kind of nice, but a genuine nice. The kind that's contagious, that you can't help but take with you. The kind of nice you want to share with others. But don't take our word for it. Come for a stay and help us prove nice travels. Book at doubletree.com.
Juicy, so it looks like 4.
For 42 minutes, he's been trying to bring an entire stadium to its feet.
You missed it, buddy.
Why does he do it? For glory? Notoriety? We don't know. Frankly, we don't need to know. But much like this hero, Courtyard is all about the game.
1, 2, 3. Hey, there's my guy. Yes. Go. Snacks? Yeah, man. Eat it up, and we're going to burn it off doing the...
We're going to make some changes here.
It's the other player is Carl Swenson coming into the game, a freshman from New Jersey.
Now, he has played in 7 games coming into this. 7 of the 8 contests, but not very much. He's averaged about 3.5 minutes.
Lakovic, the only starter staying on the court.
Well, and I think, again, being rewarded for what he's doing. He has actually been playing pretty well, really, at both ends.
Chu hits the free throw. Lead is 14, 37-23. Spartans have yet to mark this half. It was 32-23 at halftime. And they've given up the first 6 points of the half.
If you were trying to read Mcinnes' name off his back, his letters are about minuscule compared to the other players.
Otherwise, they go to the front.
Yeah.
Diaz, Harris, Baker bounces it inside to Lakovic.
Well, there's good ball movement this time. You know, this is what Richard Smith's looking for.
Diaz knocks down the 3.
His first attempt of the season from beyond the arc. And his first points of the season, as a matter of fact.
It's a little pep in the step. It's a short lineup, but get some people right out now who are out there trying to have some intensity.
I think you're right. Sending the message. I think that's what happened here.
Yeah. Inside to Cluxton. He backs down Baker, or I should say Harris. Harris needs an off season in the weight room.
I'll bet he's heard that before. He's 6'8".
185. Slender.
Reminds me a little bit of Brent Berry, who used to play at Oregon State in the NBA. His nickname was Bones. For obvious reasons.
Lakovic drove the baseline, stepped out of bounds on his way across the lane. Bonner looks like he wants to take it all the way. Fades away. Lakovic rebounds.
8 points, 8 boards for Lakovic, and that's why he's out there. He's still playing hard.
Swenson bounces it to Harris. Back out to Swenson. And he's going to pop a 3. Off the rim, no good.
And that's not a bad shot. That was in sequence. It was a catch and shoot. Had his feet square, just didn't go.
At this point, I'd have to say the passes are a little crisper and a little quicker. And they both the threes we've seen have been fairly open. One fell, one didn't. A steal by Swenson. See if he can take it all the way. Drives the lane, puts it up, off the glass, no good, and it goes out of bounds. Tampa will keep it.
Yeah, Chu and Cluxton both had that one easily in their hands, and they fought over it and went out of bounds. It'll be Tampa ball.
That's 15-48.
I think Clues.
Over Rollins College and Glenwood
women's
Junior.
Game. Yep.
Nowadays, more and more people are on the go. We are all busy with work and family. Clean Eats has a solution. At every Clean Eats location, we have grab-and-go coolers that are packed full of freshly made breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals. Whether you are a soccer mom, business person, athlete, or just someone that does not have time to prepare your own meals, Clean Eats has you covered. Our grab-and-go cooler will always have a wide selection of meals to satisfy you. Each to-go meal is priced under $7 to make our food very affordable. Be sure to stop and try a to-go meal. Clean Eats.
Message for the whole game. When they come back, I would suspect you would see a lot more intensity.
Brent Duncan has come in for Lakovich. Harris off the rim, no good. McKim slows it down.
Set up on a man-to-man, not stifling, but they don't split.
Bonner. Gum at the top. 10 on the shot clock. Almost knocked away by Diaz. Off a pick. Gum. 3 on the shot clock. Bonner drives. Loses ball, but I think a foul was called.
Unfortunately, he tripped over one of the Spartans.
Fell into the player, yeah. I think it's on Baker.
I think they called Diaz, actually.
Diaz?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's too bad. He just slipped over and fell on the floor. And it was almost a shot clock violation. That open 3 at the other end, you really do want Jacob Harris to knock that shot down, because there's not a ton of scoring options out there. He might be your best scoring option of those 5 on the floor right now. But hey, Richard Smith saying, let's find out who wants to play today.
Bonner, top 3 on the way. Over the back is Chu.
And a good box out again by Jacob Harris right there. At the inside position.
On the inbound pass, defended, and then Chu climbs over the back of it.
Well, I think most in attendance here from the University of Tampa are a little disappointed, because the first 2 games against SSC schools, the Spartans men's team, yes, they did suffer defeats, but they were competitive.
Right.
They had chances to win both games. And against 2 good teams, you know.
Duncan back out. Diaz for 3, no good. So he knocked down the first one. Spartans have not connected since, but he with the steal.
Again, the effort. Get back and play defense. He did. Got the ball.
And he fires up another one. Oh, rattles out.
Oh, that's too bad. He had earned that one.
Yep. Still a 14-point lead for Rollins.
Both teams have gone without scoring for over 2.5 minutes.
And ends that drought with Cluxton scoring, and that is 13 points for him now. Another biggest lead of the game at 16 now. And Swenson went to get the pass and was so close to the out of bounds when he stepped back after he caught the pass, stepped out of bounds.
The Spartans have scored 26 points in 26 minutes.
There's the back door. Bonner gets it off the glass, rattles it home. Not quite as easily as other ones. They try a lob to Duncan, who was not quite in the right area at the time.
And Yanor was.
McKim missing it. Baker grabs it out. To the corner.
You do wonder a little bit, will Richard Smith bring the starters back?
I know.
What kind of message
Baker, or Duncan, I should say, drives and scores off the glass and got fouled.
Yeah, Duncan, the only starter on the floor right there.
Well, I was looking over to see, checking body language on the starters.
Well, Richard Schmidt now has stood up and is talking to the other starters that are on the bench, the regulars. And I think, I thought he was going to say, are we ready to go now? Are we ready to play?
Yeah.
But he's not putting them in, so.
Tom Klusman and coaching staff, Kevin Hogan and
the message continuing to be sent.
Duncan with the three-point play. He is sending Felder back in, so he's kind of doing it piecemeal at the moment. Duncan was the first to come in.
Well, some of the guys that have come in and have actually shown a pickup of intensity and good effort, so reward them with playing time as well.
Yes. Off the rim, falls into Swenson's hands, off the board. And he lofts a high three, airballed it. That was not on line the moment it left his hands. He will come out. Felder will come in. And that'll be a travel. No, they call a foul.
Yeah. Brent Duncan tackled him on the side.
Ah, that's why he went down slowly.
Yeah. He ran into a brick wall.
Lakovic in. Switching places with Brent Duncan.
Duncan picking up his third there. 3 fouls in 12 minutes of court time for Duncan.
But I would say he and Lakovic were showing the most intensity. McKim. Chu with a long three off the rim. And Brendan Baker with the rebound. Lakovic. Baker, under 10 on the shot clock. Inside Lakovic, nice little reverse layup and in.
A nice find by Felder.
That's the second one of those the Spartans have pulled off today. Lead 13 for Rollins. 11:20 to go, second half.
A lot of time, you make it a stop, you get a missed shot, grab the defensive rebound, go to the other end and score. You might, even with a three, make it a 10-point game.
And a steal by Felder. Drive and in.
A lot of time.
Felder with his fourth point, lead 11.
And I'll tell you, Tom Klusman is up walking around now. He'd been sitting. Boy, that's too bad. You can't let him have an offensive rebound.
Fortunately, they get away with getting the next rebound.
If the Spartans score here, I'm thinking there's a timeout coming.
Yeah,
for the Tars.
You get it down to single digits. And you've made a little statement here.
Bonner's at the scorer's table, about to come back in.
Baker goes inside to Lakovic. 10 on the shot clock. Baker, he should probably take that shot. Goes off of a Rollins foot. It'll be Tampa's ball, but we're at the under 12 timeout. 10:22 to go, second half.
It's not about any one thing. It's about how everything comes together, how it all connects. People, ideas, resources, community, everything. Quality of life services. That's what we do. Sodexo.
Yeah, the message definitely was sent. but I think it was 12 or 14, I think, when the starters were pulled, if I remember correctly.
And the largest lead was 18. That was at 13:57, so 3.5 minutes ago.
Yeah. So again, in 3.5 minutes, you've trimmed
7 points.
7 points off that deficit. So.
And I think we'll see if the pep in the step continues here. Harris staying in the lineup.
Part of that is size, but also he's been moving with and without the ball.
Lakovic. Spartans had a 20-second shot clock, so it's now 15. Bacon, pretty good looking three, off the rim though. Fighting for it is Lakovic, and he puts it in, and it's cut it to 9.
So that's 9 straight for Tampa.
A couple more stops could make it very interesting. Bonner's going to try to drive, kicks it out. Long three, front of the rim. Bacon has it, hustles down court. Has a player on the wing, he's going to drive all the way, gets fouled.
Well, sometimes when things come so easily, it's hard to get that intensity back once the game starts getting a little tighter.
It's hard to all of a sudden summon it again. Tom Klusman wants the timeout.
Yeah.
A 9-0 run for Tampa. 4:15 the drought for Rollins at the moment, and the Spartans will have Pat Bacon on the line, one of the top free throw shooters, and the person who has made more free throws than anyone else in the SSC so far this year.
Rollins last season, a disappointment, 10-18. This year, hoping to bounce back a bit from that. 4-3 right now.
Bacon hits the first, his 7th point.
Got to play against the man-to-man.
And the second, and the Spartans have cut it to 7 at 11-0 run.
Well, I know Pat Bacon's a competitor, so he will be fired up here, probably at both ends of the floor.
Biffle guarding Bonner. And Arian back in the lineup.
And he's not alone in that regard.
Right.
I know Vincent Biffle's going to be just the same. Stepped on the line. Oh,
second call. He rolled it in, but stepped on the line about 10 feet before that. So the Spartans could cut it, conceivably cut it to 4.
Tom Klusman's coached in over 1,100 games. I wonder how many times he's watched an 18-point lead slip away painfully slowly like this one right now.
I say watch Harris. Watch Harris knock one down here.
You called it, Jack.
Oh, he airballed it.
Oh, man.
He airballed it.
It looked like he was going to try to put it right back up because he thought maybe the shot clock was about to expire, but they still had 6 seconds.
And they beat the Spartans off the inbounds pass. Riccio scoring, ends the scoring drought and gets the lead back to 9.
Yeah, emphatically. And there again, Jacob Harris got beat long. That's a freshman mistake.
Yeah. So my optimism had it being potentially down to a 4-point game. It's now 9.
That was a big moment in this game just a second ago.
Yeah, it was. At about the 9-minute mark.
5-point swing.
I was on the assumption it would have been a 3. Lakovic finds Harris. Harris has trouble getting the ball, and it tumbles out of bounds off a Rollins player.
Yeah, low pass over there. It was all Harris could do was just to corral it so it didn't go out of bounds.
Ankle passes are never the best.
Not the best. Still a lot of time, Jack. Still a lot of time.
Well, they erased 11 points in 4 minutes. Felder trying to drive. He's got to give it up. Harris, Lakovic in the lane, off the glass, and he's going to go to the line.
What a difference, though. Since that message was sent, you suddenly have everybody moving with aggressiveness, with an idea, with some intent to do something positive with the basketball. Not at all hesitant.
Just need someone to get hot. That's probably the one thing that hasn't happened today. I mean, Lakovic is 5 for 7.
12 points and 9 boards for him. Looking like a double-double.
Can't hit the free throws, though. He's 1 for 4 today.
Lakovic was 63% for the season coming into the game. 1 for 4. Doesn't help.
Nope. And Marion knocks one down. It's a 2.
Jump stop, went straight up in the air and knocked down.
But all of a sudden, it's double digits again.
Now Tampa's got to respond. All of a sudden, they were standing again.
Boy, Harris just can't get it to fall. And a travel. The under 8 timeout, 7:27 to go. And Rollins is Biffle across the timeline. Again, an 11-point lead for Rollins. Tampa would like to try to knock it down with a couple stops and a couple buckets. Brendan Baker in the lineup for Tampa. And a nice jump shot. It's a 3 by Felder. His first 3 made. He's now 1 for 4.
They put the 3 points on Rollins' side on the scoreboard here, so don't be fooled.
All right. Okay.
It is 48-40.
Bonner outside the arc. Yanor goes inside to Riccio. 5 on the shot clock now. Inside. I think they might get Pat Bacon for a hold.
Hey, you just gave 2 points to the wrong team.
That's over there.
Tom Klusman will make sure that they know that. We had a fan come up and tell us that you and I gave 3 points to the wrong team.
Yes. My fault.
Yep. Jack, it's all your fault, buddy.
Well, I called it. I thought I called it for Tampa.
Yeah, you definitely called it correctly.
All right, thank you. 10 on the shot clock now. Bonner, little jumper, deflected, I think, by Biffle. Bacon's trying to see if he can mad dash, and he slipped, but I think they're calling a foul on the slide.
I think the Spartans got a break there. Just wondering, do you think Dick Vitale ever has that happen? Sitting courtside and somebody comes up and says you put the wrong score up? Doesn't happen.
No.
Doesn't happen.
Stars don't have the ball, Tampa inbound for the basketball down.
Well, the Spartans, again, are making an effort to close in.
If they can get a bucket here, a 2 or a 3.
Right. Yep, you're making it a 2-possession game if you score here. You know, again, counting a couple of threes potentially.
Right.
But if you can score here with 6:13 left, you still have a ton of time.
Oh, we won't see it, though. Duncan thought the pass was going to Biffle, and Biffle thought it was going to Duncan.
Instead, it went to the guy who was asking us to change the scoreboard. I'm kidding.
Go tell him he gets a turnover.
Yeah, that's right.
Rollins with 6 minutes. Riccio, top of the key, nothing but net.
Well, Riccio, just his second attempt from beyond the arc today, that looked really good.
Yeah, it did.
The whole time. He was just spotted up and just nailed it. Now it might be a little tougher.
Back to 11. And that is another turnover.
Now it's going to be even more difficult.
Yeah, they're making it a lot tougher on themselves. I think the Spartans only had maybe 4 turnovers at half. They have 12 now. So twice we've talked about the Spartans having a chance to get it down to 4, 5, 6 points.
Ooh, nice follow by Riccio.
And it's all of a sudden 13 again. Kicked out of bounds. At the 9-minute mark, Spartans had the ball down by 7. We mentioned they had a 3, could cut it to 4. They didn't score. Back-to-back threes. Popped it up again into double digits.
I held them for you.
Bacon looked at a 3, came back, goes inside the arc, and knocks it down.
Yeah, long 2 there. But at this point, the Spartans need to score.
Points are points right now, yeah.
Yep.
So you need the stops. Low-scoring game, well below the scoring averages of each team, which are Spartans in the mid-60s, Rollins around 70. So Spartans at 70, Rollins at 80.
Riccio went in and dunked after the whistle. Didn't that used to be a technical?
Yes. Now it's just showboating.
Enthusiasm.
Yep.
I will give all the credit for what's happened here today, though, to the Rollins defense. They have really, that zone has caused a ton of problems, and it's because they match up. They've been very energetic in the zone. Right at the top, McKim, he starts out guarding the guy out with the ball, but then he falls right into the guy who comes in and setting a high pick. So McKim starts it all out up front.
Bacon fouled on the drive. He and Lakovich, double-digit scorers for Tampa.
Justin Pekka up talking to Vincent Biffle and to Derek Felder discussing what he feels.
Bacon gets that free throw to climb over the rim.
Let's see if they press on the make.
Yes.
There it is.
Just don't get beat on the home run. Yenor gets to Bonner, top of the key. Bonner off a pick, jumper inside the arc, misses it. Fighting for it is Brent Duncan. .340 to go.
Sorry, you need to run the offense, but you need to do it somewhat with a sense of urgency.
Yes. Felder, a long 3, no good. Rebound, Yenor. So 3 times now the Spartans have had a chance to hit a bucket to get it to where you might think, and they didn't get it here. 2 missed shots and a turnover. Bonner in the lane. Steal by Duncan. He finds Bacon.
Duncan's had an active hand.
Yeah.
He's had hands in the passing lanes. He's done a good job rebounding and boxing out. But at this point, the Spartans need to score, and soon.
Bacon with a long 3, no good. They still can't get it to fall. 4 for 23 from 3-point. Felder tips it out of bounds. Goes under this is the under 4 timeout with 2:30 to go. 9-point lead for Rollins, 53.
I chose Rollins because the Spanish Mediterranean architecture is just beautiful. The weather's great. We're in Central Florida. We're right on Lake Virginia, and I couldn't turn any of that down.
Rollins gave me that ability and that foundation that I needed to go into the world. And I think that I wouldn't have got that experience anywhere else.
That was a pretty good segment. That's the only good segment.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Some layups and hitting free throws, getting fouled and hitting free throws.
Yeah, he is just 32% from deep. He and Felder entered this game with 9 of each to lead the way. I mean, in 8 games, he's made 9.
Won a game.
So that's won a game.
Yeah.
This is not a great three-point shooting team, and we've seen that today in spades. 4 out of 23 from deep. Get a steal here, though. Get a layup at the other end. 7-point game.
Brent Duncan just threw a nice little elbow to Chu. Just a play on. McKim fading away, and Biffle with the board.
All 5 white jerseys to the board that time. That was good.
Biffle, 3 off the front of the rim. Spartans just can't.
Just need a shot to go.
Yep, they just can't get it to fall.
They're friends at the moment. They swing the ball.
Yenor knocked down 3 3-pointers in the first half. Made a big difference.
Rollins has no sense of urgency. The time is in their favor.
3 on the shot clock. McKim has to shoot. And that's probably your game, set, and match right there. As the lead goes to 12, 56-44.
Regulation.
Biffle, almost a steal by Yenor. Biffle, 3. There it is. Lakovich, body checked out of bounds. Slow to get up.
Timeout called after the make by the Spartans just to try to set up on defense. Full court pressure, obviously, coming up. 68 seconds left, and you're down by 9. Team that you're supposed to beat on your home floor. Again, no, not a knock on Rollins. It's just a team that you should have a pretty good chance.
Beatable here, yeah.
Yeah, beatable at home.
I think it's the zone defense.
Oh, absolutely.
And
they've done a nice job with it, so you give them the credit for it.
It won't frustrate every team.
No.
Nova Southeastern would probably love it.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, zone us.
Yeah. We'll just step back farther.
Yeah. And that's their next game, Nova Southeastern. Boy, what a difference that's going to be.
Yes.
For Rollins. He walked.
I think so.
I thought he did. I thought he took it.
Changed pivot feet.
Yeah, I thought that's exactly what I saw. It's not going to matter, though.
No.
Here we
Minute to go.
And I might have been mistaken. I mean, it's just hard to kind of look like LeBron just walking across there for a minute.
Shot clock, 3 seconds, bounces it in. Yenor.
Yenor was smart. He's got about a 5-inch advantage on Gio Diaz, and he took him right down the throat of the lane. The 8 feet elevated over him.
Loud.
So, down 11. Time's critically short at this point.
Yes, 48 seconds approximately.
That I could do without doing any conversion.
Somebody wants to shoot. Won't fall. Diaz fighting for it, though. Probably gets called for the foul. Yes, he does.
Deservedly so.
But
Good
he hustled.
Absolutely hustled. I was just going to say that. Only the 15th foul, so mercifully no free throws. Need a steal to have a chance. Lakovic instead
fouls.
Yep. And it's still out of bounds to them.
Shooting on the next one if we get to that point. To McKim in the backcourt. Across the timeline, they may not. No, Diaz tries to foul. Even looked at the ref. But I think they're calling off the dogs here with 10 seconds to play. Shot clock is off. Yenor will just dribble it out.
A little bit of shaky footing coming off that Embry-Riddle beat down.
So Rollins is going to post a 58-47 win over the Tampa Spartans this afternoon. Spartans fall to 0-3 in the conference for the Rollins Stars, their first SSE win. They are now 1-1 on the year. Overall, Tampa 2-7, and the Rollins Stars are now 5-3. Individual scoring in the game, McKim, who had no points for.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
50, just 30, 18 of 50, I should say, 36% from the floor. Will not be back on the air until December 16th, which is a Monday game against Florida Memorial, a non-conference game, 7 o'clock right here at the Martinez Center. Again, 58-47 the final. Thanks for watching right here on TampaSpartans.tv.